Hey, what's up everyone? Today I am at the local half shutdown mall because of COVID, and I have the Super73 S1 and the Z1, and I'm here to compare them. Let's get started. And then it rolls into the intro. Okay, here on my left I have the S1 that for a long time was a fan favorite for people that wanted a bigger bike, more space to customize, and for a longer range. And here is the Z1 on my right for people that wanted a cheaper ride but the same thrill of an electric bike. There are a few similarities and differences, so I thought let's just start with the similarities. Both the S1 and the Z1 are made from a steel frame that give it that different look from other bikes and that rugged feel that it's not going to break on you. And a nice retro feel on top of that as well. While the Z1 looks like it has smaller tires just because it's lower to the ground, it actually has slightly bigger tires. They come in at 20 by 4.25 inches and the S1 has 20 by 4 inches. But don't worry, if you have inner tubes for one, you have inner tubes for both because they both take 20 by 4 inch inner tubes. Alright, speaking of wheels, they both have a 500 watt motor in the back that peaks at 1000 watts. So on paper, you should get the same thrill on either bike, but we'll test that out in the real world test drives later in a bit. Okay, so what are the real differences between these two bikes? First of all, you can tell that the Z1 is a much smaller bike. It comes in at 61 pounds. While the S1 comes in at 71 pounds with the battery. The S1 is made to accommodate taller drivers, so if you're a taller person, you might want to consider getting the S1 over the Z1. The next difference is the display. The Z1 has a 3 LED display from green, yellow to red to indicate battery level, and that's about it. While on the S1, you have a much more complicated high-tech display, where on the right it shows the battery level with 4 different bars, and then to the left of that is the speed, miles per hour. Right underneath that you can find the odometer, and you could toggle between that to see the trip odometer that resets every time you turn on and off the bike. Also on the S1 display, and a difference between the S1 and the Z1, is that you could turn on the headlight on the S1. The Z1 does not come with headlights or tail lights, so that's another thing to keep in mind. And the last thing that you could trigger on the display is you can switch between pedal assist modes, and the S1 has eco, mid, and high pedal assist modes, while the Z1 has no pedal assist at all. I find that in the pedal assist modes, in eco I get around 10 miles per hour, mid I get about 15, and on high I get between 20 to 25 miles per hour depending on the situation. Another big difference is battery and range. The Z1 only has a 418 watt battery, while the S1 has a 768 watt battery, which will end up giving you more range. Advertised is around 15 to 25 miles on the Z1, and you can get about 25 to 35 miles on the S1. We can't confirm that because we've never run the batteries dry, to be honest, but what I can say is we've used the Z1 for 11 miles and the battery gauge was still on yellow, and the S1 over here I've used for 11 miles and still had plenty of juice in the tank. Okay, small differences between the two are that the Z1 has mechanical brakes and the S1 has hydraulic brakes. So that means that on the Z1 you're gonna have to do more mechanical work over time to adjust those, while these will automatically compress and adjust by themselves. And for the S1 alone, it has a cargo rack in the back, which I have right now a utility container attached to that, and it comes with fenders already in the kit. This does not bring them, you can buy them separately. All right, I say that does it for the similarities and differences between the S1 and the Z1. So we're gonna do a real world test and see the acceleration and speed of these two and compare them. Okay, we're gonna do the acceleration test first. We have the two Super73 set up behind me. I have a tripod with the camera set up right next to it, or this camera will be set up right next to it, and then I have a GoPro over here to see who's ahead basically. So let's get this one started. Okay, this is gonna be throttle only on go. Already? Ready. 1, 2, 3, go. See, it's way ahead. Okay, I think that was pretty surprising that the cheaper Z1 model was faster than the S1 model.
I win.
I don't know if that's because that the Z1 is lighter and so is Heather, and then this is a much heavier combo with me compared to the same motor that they're both using. But we're gonna go ahead and set up a camera all the way down at the end and see who gets there first. Okay, now it's the first one to cross all the way down there. The camera that's all the way at the end wins at the end of the parking lot. Pedal only again, on go.
Throttle only again.
Correct, throttle only again, on go. All right, 1, 2, 3, go. Again, that was a really long distance. I was expecting to catch up at some point, but that didn't happen. So I think we're gonna move on to a speed test to see who can reach the top speed. Okay, the parking lot wasn't big enough, so we're gonna go on the road. That's why we have our helmets now, safety first. And we're just gonna see who could hit the highest speed, and let's just get started. Throttle only, on go, ready, set, go. So the results were she was faster off the jump like you saw before, and the S1 was faster overall. The Z1 ended up hitting about 20 miles per hour. The S1 hit about 24, and I've gotten it to 26 for sure, and 30 plus on a downhill. So that's it for the real world test. I'll wrap it up here going back home, and I'll wrap up my final thoughts. Okay, before I wrap up my final thoughts, one thing I missed when I was talking about the batteries is that the Z1 over here has an integrated battery into the seat. That means you cannot take it out. It is bolted in there. The only way to take it out is if you take out the seat. The S1 over here has a removable battery, so you can take it with you anywhere. This is extremely important for anybody that lives in apartments or anyone that's going to be leaving their bike somewhere other than where they're going to charge it. Because the Z1, if you live in the 3rd floor apartment, and you're gonna charge your battery in your room, in your living room, something like that, you're gonna have to take that up all the way up the stairs and charge it that way. S1, you can leave it in the garage, locked outside, and bring the battery in and then charge it that way. So that's just something to keep in mind. All right, the price. Right now, the S1 is at $1,800 and the Z1 is at $1,260. But if you use the link in the description below, you'll get $100 off your bike. So I wanna start off by saying that both bikes are great. They are both extremely fun to ride and have plenty of range for most people. If you don't plan on using it as a commuter bike, then the Z1 is a great bike. But if you want to use it for longer range riding to commute to work or whatever the case may be, if you need that range, the S1 is the bike to go. If you want to add more storage like I have on my S1, the S1 is the way to go because it's going to be able to handle putting cargo on there. And of course, if you just have the money to blow and you're choosing between these two, just go with the S1. You're gonna get a lot more features, a lot more range, removable battery, cargo rack, lights, pedal assist mode, all that kind of stuff. That's only gonna be found on the S1, not the Z1. Again, they're both really great bikes, and I think anyone will be happy with either one they choose. So as you can tell, I have a few accessories on my S1 and added that basket right there on the Z1. So if you guys want to see a video specifically on the accessories on the Super 73s, let me know down in the comments below and I'll go ahead and make that video. Thank you guys for watching another video. These people behind me are leaving, but please consider liking and subscribing if you haven't already, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.